Okay, so the very first thing you'll do then, when you start up your autograph, so we're up here, what I've done with mine is I've reset everything to its default level. So when you load it up off your CD, this is what you're going to see. And you get this level, standard and advanced. And again, Douglas and Alan tend to say don't tick this. I kind of do, but then I like the advanced all the time. So I'm going to open up standard level. Press OK, and you'll get that particular screen. If we want to look at the advanced, if we just open up another one there, and this time we'll ask for advanced, is it going to do it? Just grab it and move it, it'll go, there we go. You can just see there across the top, there's just that few more icons. This one's got a lot more on there. They come way down the side down here. Okay. If for some reason that you've sort of got your students to log on and they ticked that box, please don't show this again, and they've selected standard, it's going to load up standard every time you go in, or they've ticked advanced, it's going to load up advanced every time. So you're struggling and you want to get it switched into another mode. The way to do it is to go through view, okay, and you go view preferences. Okay. Now, under the general tab there, this is where you can actually select advanced or standard level. Now, if your darling little students have ticked that box and you desperately want it to come up again, this thing here will be blanked out. So if you want that standard and advanced level to come up every time that you actually, load up autograph, just check that again, press OK, and it will come up the next time you load it. Okay? So that's a way of getting through it. Now the other nice feature about this is this whiteboard mode here. Okay, now that little button up there, I tend to leave on all the time. If you're in whiteboard mode again, if we just go to view preferences again, so that was in the view and then preferences, and we just tick whiteboard there. Okay, there's these four options here. Now we've got display keyboard and use whiteboard theme. They're not ticked by default when you load it up from the beginning. So I'm just going to select those two because I actually want it to do whiteboard every time that I actually start up autograph. Now the reason I want the whiteboard mode up is because the first thing it does is it puts up nice thick lines on the axes and it brings up the autograph keyboard, which if you're using one of these things you're going to need, because you can't go running back to the computer all the time if you want to type an equation in. So having the keyboard on screen is great. Okay? If you're not using it generally on a whiteboard and you're just looking at it on screen, say in a classroom, we go under general. We've got this no shift here for multiple select. Can I just bob back to whiteboard there? No shift for multiple select there is in the whiteboard mode anyway. So under general, I'm going to tick that one and say do it anyway, because if the whiteboard mode gets switched off, I still want this no shift for multiple select. Now what that means is when you're in something like Word or you're on normal Windows, when you want to select two files, say, you'd select one file, hold the shift key, select another file, keep the shift key selected, and you keep selecting across. What this is doing is allowing you not to hold the shift key, which is absolutely essential if you're on an interactive whiteboard or you're using one of the tablets. We've got plotting there for preferences. That's another one I always keep ticked, which is thickness, all thick lines. That makes, again, the screen display much clearer to see, or at least I find it's much clearer to see, so I always set it to thick lines. Okay, I don't tend to bother with any of these, I leave them where they are. But if you want the plotting, which I'll show you later on, you can speed up and slow down plotting, but we'll leave it where it is for the time being. Leave it there. So the general is where you can switch between advanced and standard, and also select your options for the no shift and so on. The whiteboard, we tend to have all four clicked, and the 3D graphing, again, we'll just leave it there. We're not going to worry about that one just yet. So we say OK, and there we go. Now the whiteboard mode there, now when I press it, if you see what the difference is, yeah, so has everybody got this nice bold looking screen? Is everybody there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just much clearer to see and much brighter, and it's much better use of it. Right, now something else that's not generally put on the toolbar is an undo and redo option. So I'm just going to put on a few points, and I'm just going to show you really what the workhorse of autograph is. All the toolbars, each one of these on the toolbar, that one there, the little arrow board, the select board, that's the workhorse of autograph. That's the one that's going to do all the work for you. That's the one where you select your points, you select your lines, you select your objects. That's the one that really does everything for you in autograph. Okay, so keep your eye on that one. This one here, point mode, that will put you a point on your axes. Okay, now we're in advanced mode at the moment, which means I can select the point mode and I can just put random points anywhere I like on the axes there. Okay? The difference between advanced mode and standard mode is if I actually put a point on here and I really do want it on that particular coordinate, I have to be very, very careful where I put it. If I'm in standard mode, it has another feature that it will just snap to the integer coordinates, which is great for GCSE, for lower school GCSE, but I can put that on here as well. I don't need to keep flipping between the two. So I want to set it up that I can actually tell it to snap to the particular integer coordinates. So this is how I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go under View, Toolbars and Customize. Okay, so if you go into View, Toolbars and then select Customize. Okay, that's going to allow you to put whatever you like on that toolbar. Okay, now I want the commands. Now you might think, well, I don't know where the snapping axis is and stuff. I don't know where to find it. I don't know whether it's under Edit. I don't know whether it's under View. I don't know whether it's under Equation. So if you know where to find them, you can just pick out these. But right at the bottom, there's All Commands. So you can click on All Commands and you'll get every single one that you could possibly put on. A lot of those are already on already. But if you're not sure and you don't know whether to look in Equation or Axes or so, you can go on All Commands and find them. So what we're going to do, I just want you to scroll down there, and the one you're looking for is, where are we? First one I'm going to put on is Redo because I found it. Okay, so that was at the top there. I'm going to come down, not too far, it's Redo. Now we've got Undo on the toolbar already. I'd like to have Redo on there as well. So all you do is just grab hold of it, drag it up and put it on. Okay? So you locate it, grab hold of it, drag it up there and drop it onto your toolbar. Right, the other one I'm looking for is actually under Axes because it's something to do with the axes. I'm going to come down and where is it? There. It's the grid snaps. Are we okay? Do stop me if I'm going too far. So these grid snap axes are actually already on the standard toolbar. Okay? So if we were on the standard, if I just make that a little bit larger, and I started putting points on here, if I'm very near to that point and I don't quite get it in the right place, it will immediately snap into that integer position. And I want that on advanced as well. So I'm going to put that grid snap one on my toolbar as well. There. And while I'm at it, I'll have the O1 on there as well. So I've just added a few things to my toolbar to try and make it a little bit easier in a lesson for me to use it. Okay. I'm going to take that off now. Now, when I put on the snap to 1, just like on the standard one, if I hover near to a point, it will snap onto the axes. Okay? Right, everyone happy with that? Right.